Do you want to get your work seen by more clients, but you find the thought of it overwhelming? Like, where do you even start, or should you even bother? In this video, I'm going to show you how to take an element of maximizing self-promotion and hopefully start getting you some results. I'll show you why getting your work out there to potential clients doesn't have to be scary or overwhelming or intimidating. We'll get you through it. Like, just sit with me for 5 minutes, a little quickie. No, not quickie. Sit with me for 5 minutes and we're going to get you through it. Now, in the last video, I told you why posting on Instagram every single day isn't the only way you can get more clients and not necessarily the best way to get more clients. And I introduced you to the pros of maximizing self-promotion and why it's helpful. Now, in case you're sitting here with the audacity, the gumption, the gall, and have not watched my last video, then go back and watch it. We covered some important things, so it's useful if you watch it because then you'll be more up to date and know what is happening in this video, hopefully. So if you're serious about getting your work seen by more people, then go back and watch it, girl. Now that shameless plug is out of the way, let's get into it. I'm going to talk to you about how you can start maximizing self-promotion and how you can get started today. Quick, simple, easy. So you ready for this? You ready for this? Woo, drum roll. The first thing you need to do is get out of your own head. Just get out of it. It's that simple. I know that either doesn't sound like an easy step, or on the flip side, you think it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But as artists, we are the first ones to champion our own artwork and think we're the second coming. But in the same thought, the same millisecond, the same brainwave, we're also thinking our work ain't good enough to even appear on the front of our mum's fridge. So in all honesty, it's actually quite insane how this self-doubt can seep into everywhere. Why don't you share more of your work online? Because you think people won't be interested. Why don't you post more work in progresses? My hand is clicked. Why don't you post more work in progresses? Because you think people won't be interested. Why don't you email this brand? Because you think they don't want your work. Why don't you ask for payment? Because you think they haven't got the budget or your work isn't worth the money. So everything that I just told you, which was I think, is complete and utter fiction. It doesn't exist. It's just in your mind. It's not fact. You're literally there speculating about all the things that might happen, could happen, should happen, would happen, whatever. You're speculating on what might happen because you're scared the outcome might not be what you want it to be. This is self-sabotage. Now, I'm not going to get all preachy because my name ain't Ted, but I am talking. But when you are too far inside your own head, which we are all guilty of, a simple thing just as, I want to submit my artwork to this brand, can spiral off into who do I think I am? Who will they think I am? I'm not good enough. They'll blacklist me. They won't reply to my email. All these things, and it's crazy. It's exhausting. These thoughts don't do you any good. And when the time it takes to spiral off and think all these things about what might happen, what could happen, you could have already sent your bloody email and got a response. So it doesn't give you any value. I'm only able to sit here and preach all this because I've been there. I've been there millions of times. I almost said no to. No, I have said no. I've said no to so many opportunities in the past because my thoughts spiral off, or I haven't put my work out there because I've been too scared about the response. I almost said no to when Apple approached me to do a talk at their flagship store because I thought who would care and are you sure? But when you put aside those negative thoughts of it's not up to you to judge. If they've judged that you're worth it, then that's for them to decide. It's not for you. Things get a lot simpler. Now, in reference to putting your artwork out there, it really isn't that deep. I know as artists, we put our all into our artwork and it's very personal. And whenever someone doesn't connect with it or doesn't like it, we take it hard. Ooh, we take it hard. But we completely overinflate it in our head. We spin these epic tales of rejection and heartache that bloody Shakespeare would get a boner for. And we start imagining whenever we send our artwork to these brands that they'll open our email, see our artwork, and it'll be Anna Wintour, Marc Jacobs, Meryl Streep, and bloody Da Vinci himself sitting there laughing. Printing off our artwork, making voodoo dolls and trying to curse us and enchanting spells to curse our pencil lead to always break when we sharpen a pencil or something. This just ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. The worst thing that will happen is that they just will ignore you. Or they'll reply back to you and say, sorry, your work doesn't fit the brand. That's it. There's no public shamings. You're not going to get cancelled. There's no trending hashtag. So you read the message, you thank them, and you just go, thank you next, bitch. Now, I used to be a marketing manager for a luxury jewelry brand. And if I had a penny, just one little penny, for every time someone approached me with their work, and I replied to them saying it doesn't fit to the brand, or I completely overlooked their email, or I've got to reply, or we don't really need someone right now, I wouldn't be sitting there trying to sell you a masterclass, bitch. Cha-ching. All you have to realize is that in the creative industry, especially fashion, there's not a shortage of people that are going to tell you no. And you don't want to be too shy or too intimidated to try and stumble upon the ones that do want to give you an opportunity or do like your work because you're too caught up on what might potentially happen. Just put it out there and see. So go fly, go be free, put your artwork out there and just see what happens. Let someone else tell you no rather than yourself. Now for the commercial aspect. In my upcoming Business of Fashion Illustration Masterclass, I'm going to be covering all this and a lot more. I'll be sharing a lot more strategies about how to get more traffic to your website, how to get your portfolio out there, how to approach clients, how to find your style, everything else. So make sure you stay on the lookout because in a couple of days I'll be releasing more information about it. And in my next little mini blockbuster film, I'm gonna tell you a trick that can get you started to maximizing your self-promotion. And this is honestly the #1 trick I've been using in some form or another for years, and I've not really mentioned it before, so stay tuned because this is gonna blow your mind, baby. Get the mop and bucket ready.